was haram and riba. But an unequal exchange of camels was not. That Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu exchanged one camel for 4, or one camel for 20, I think. And Umar radiallahu ta'ala exchanged one camel for 4. But that was not haram and that was not riba. But the unequal exchange of dates was riba. And why was it riba? In answering that question, we are introduced to the subject of what is money in Islam. What is money in the Quran? What is money in the Sunnah? I gave this lecture at Darul Uloom Newcastle in South Africa. And the head of the Darul Uloom, may Allah have mercy on his soul, the Venerable Maulana Sima, was 80-something years of age. He just died recently. The old man was sitting there for 2 hours for the lecture. And at the end of the lecture, he said to me, "We have to teach this subject in the Darul Uloom." Meaning, it's not taught. It's not taught. The Prophet said, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, he gave a command. When a transaction is such that it involves an exchange of gold for gold, or silver for silver, or wheat for wheat, or barley for barley, or dates for dates, or salt for salt. 6 of them. You can't see it, but you can hear it. Gold, silver, wheat, barley, dates, salt. It must be equal for equal. You cannot have an unequal exchange. Otherwise, it would be riba. Before we ask the question, why would it be riba? Let us look at these 6. What is common to all 6? This is a hadith, incidentally, which the world of Islam is very familiar, very familiar. Gold for gold, silver for silver, etc. What is common to all 6 is that they were all used as money. That when gold or silver coins were in scarce supply in the market, in Medina, they would use dates as money. And so from this hadith, we get a definition of money in the Sunnah. That money was either precious metals, gold and silver, or commodities of food consumption, which were in abundant supply in the market and which had a shelf life. So you wouldn't use mangoes as money because your money would be rotting. What was common to all of these 6 is that the value of the money was inside the money. The money had intrinsic value. What was common to all 6 is that the value of the money, despite fluctuations based on demand and supply, the value was always value created by Allah. And so we get the definition of money in the Sunnah. Because dates were used as money, if we allowed an unequal exchange of dates, then I can lend money on interest. I just give you 1 kilogram and you will return to me 2 kilograms after 1 year. So you will open the door for the moneylender if you allow an unequal exchange of money, the same money being used on both sides. But you could not use animals as money because, you know the one, I got a goat as my salary and I was taking the goat home. The goat fell down, died. So when I reached home, I said to my wife, salary died. Salary died. So she said, go tell the boss. So I went to the boss, I said, boss, salary died. He said, but when I gave you salary, salary was alive. Since animals can fall ill, since animals can die, animals could not be used as money. And therefore you could have an unequal exchange of camels. Now then, this is money in the Sunnah. Money with intrinsic value. Money which is either precious metals or commodities of food consumption in abundant supply in the market, and which had a shelf life. Money with value, despite fluctuations based on demand and supply, with value created by Allah. Only He can create wealth out of nothing. He is Badi'us samawati wal ard. He creates out of nothing. He is Fatir. He creates from point of origin, Fatir. He is Khaliq. He creates and He fashions. But He is also Badi'us samawati wal ard, who creates ab novo, creates from nothing. Is this money also in the Quran? Yes, it is. In Surah At-Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or is it Tawbah? Or is it, I'm forgetting now. He takes to task the Israelite people. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ. Where's the Hafiz? Where's the Hafiz? Which surah is it? All right, well, you can get it in my book. وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ. And amongst them, the Ahlul Kitab. مَنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِكِنْتَارٍ يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ. If you entrust him with a kintar, which is a treasure, about, say, 1,200 ounces of gold, enough to buy a house in San Francisco. When you want it back, يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ. He returned it to you. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِدِينَارٍ لَا يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ. And amongst them there are those who, if you entrust him with 1 dinar, when you want it back, he won't give it back to you. إِلَّا مَا دُمْتَ عَلَيْهِ قَائِمًا. The only way you can get it back is if you stand there demanding it and pounding for it. ذلك بأنهم قالوا إنما ليس علينا في الأميين السبيل. This is because of the double standards we talked about in the previous session. That we have one code of morality amongst ourselves, and we do not have to apply that code of morality with these cockroaches. الأميون ويقولون على الله الكذب وهم يعلمون. But they tell a lie against Allah. They do it knowingly. They have changed the word of Allah. I couldn't preach this in New York today. I could have done it 10 years ago. But today I cannot deliver this lecture in New York.